Welcome back, guys, to another video brought to you by your one and only literary pharaoh. Another morning workout talk discussion. Had a good workout today. Chest, triceps, abs. Did some hip work in the beginning to warm up, to get the blood flowing in our bodies. Stretched, did all that good stuff. On the way to work, on the way to my, what do I call it, my wage slave job. And I had something on my mind that I wanted to discuss with you guys today. And if this is a message for men, and I want you guys to listen, and a message for women too. But no, it's not really a message for women, because it's sort of like, giving ice to Eskimos. Women already know this, but I think some men don't know this, and I didn't know this in my younger years. I know it now. Guys, there's what makes you attractive as a man. When you're a child, when you're a little boy, and people say you're cute, that's not what I'm talking about. When you're in middle school, high school, that's different. But you can start to see the impact of status and the impact of clout start to make its influence in that in that stage, in those developmental stages when you're in middle school and high school. What I mean by that is that it's one thing to be cute. He has pretty eyes. He's handsome. That's great. But you can start to see the insertion of that bigger, grander theme. And that bigger, grander theme is the theme that's centered around status and money. And you start to see it unfold. It's conceived in earlier stages, perhaps later years in middle school, but it really starts to come out. And the birth of that grand scheme that I'm talking about, or that grand theme that I'm talking about, starts to unfold around your junior and senior year. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the intrigue that draws a woman to a man. Looks matter to women, don't get me wrong. But at some point, the women, they start to dictate the climate. They start to dictate the environment. A lot of the times men hate when they hear the term that women run the world. Well, in a sense, they do and they don't. Men and women both run the world, because there are certain things from each sex that the other tries to achieve, or tries to gain, tries to acquire. Women, they want financial stability and wealth. They want a man with clout. They want a man that earns respect. They're looking for a certain thing in a man. And looking cute and having pretty eyes and pretty hair, that's the least of their worries. And I'm saying that because in the younger years, little girls, immature girls who haven't had their brains developed fully, that's what they're gravitating to. But you start to see the shift start to occur incrementally when you see most of the guys that have all the quote-unquote girls, or that are popular, are the guys that are on the football team or the basketball team, or they're in the realm of the athletic department. You say, why is that important? Well, it's important because those guys, or those athletes, they have clout. They have a degree of respect. And don't be a great player. You're going to see the girls start to kind of move an inch over there. It doesn't matter about the looks at that point. See, women are not drawn to the same thing that men are drawn to. Men, we're drawn to the physical and the external. Women are drawn to the physical and external in their earlier years. But even you start to see the change start to happen in high school. When they get older in high school, junior year, senior year, they start to look at things differently. They're not looking at the boy that has the cute hair and pretty eyes and pretty teeth, although that is important to have. They start to look at other qualities. Does this guy garner respect? Is he popular? That's when the demarcation, or the line in the sand, is drawn. That's the inception of the chasm. That's when the separation occurs, at that point, when the women start to think, what can he provide? What can he give me? What can I get from him? And as a woman, women are so cerebral, they're not thinking about the one guy for themselves. They're thinking, if I get a guy that a lot of girls want, that gives me more power, that I'm the one that got him. So he's the star quarterback on the football team. He's popular. He's an athlete. He doesn't even have to be that good looking. See, at that point, good looks, in terms of importance, starts to lose its significance quickly, because the older the girls get, they start to think differently. Men, we're pretty linear. We stay the same at all times. We're just consistently looking for women that are attractive. We're not looking for what a woman can provide in terms of financial stability, or we're not looking for a woman with clout. As a matter of fact, we shun away from women that are popular. Why? Because no man wants to be with a woman that everybody wants. Now, in a sense, you do want your woman to be attractive, and when people see her, they want her, but you don't want a woman that's famous and popular, that everybody has seen, or she's an Instagram girl and people have seen her half naked on her Instagram posts, and everybody in a way has access to her in terms of dialogue. Men don't like that. Women can stomach that. Women like that if they in a man. Now, if a man is popular and he's well known, he's chiseled, he's built, he's in shape, he has money, he has wealth, he's famous. Oh, women love that. They love that. They can handle that. As a matter of fact, they prefer that, because to them, they've taken that enormity of power off of themselves. Now they have that man. And when they have that man, they have the world in their lap. Men, we can't handle that. If a woman is that famous and that popular and that wealthy, we're kind of, it's intimidating. It doesn't make you a weak man. It just, as a man, we're not genetically or biochemically, we're not constructed in a way to seek women that are going to provide for us. That goes against everything that a man stands for. You don't want to subject yourself to that type of woman. Now, it doesn't mean that women like that are bad. It just means that men are not primarily seeking women like that. It doesn't mean that women who have that can't be in a relationship. It doesn't mean that women like that can't have people who are interested in them. But I'm speaking, generally speaking, the general man, the status quo, not the exception to the rule, not the outlier. I'm talking about what generally happens. Normally, a man is not seeking a woman. You never hear a man say, man, I'm looking for a woman that could provide. You never hear that. Well, I'm looking for a woman that's popular, that's famous. No. Men, I'll tell you the truth, men really want a woman that has the attributes of a woman that's popular, but that's very low key. You want the woman that has the attributes of the Instagram model, the fitness model kind of thing, the body, the shape, being able to cook, take care of her man, but you want her to be low key where nobody knows who she is. You want her all for yourself. That's what men want. Women are like, hey, not that they want to share their man, but they don't mind their man being known, because it gives women a certain level of pride and joy to know that, hey, yeah, my man is coveted by many women. A lot of women want to be with my man. A lot of other women envy me because I have him. That makes women feel good. Men don't care about that. We're not trying to prove to other men that we can get the hottest chick. We just want the hottest chick. We want all the men to leave our chick alone. We're not seeking, look at me over here. Now, there's some men that love to have the quote-unquote trophy wife syndrome, where they just want a pretty girl on their side just to show off. I mean, in a sense, yes, but at the end of the day, if it's a woman that they genuinely love and care for, they're not going to have symptoms of trophy wife syndrome. It's not going to happen. Why? Because you don't want other people lusting after your woman in that sense. Now, you do want a beautiful woman on your side. That does make a man feel good. But your primary goal is not to go out there and showcase your woman to other men. Men who do that are men who are doing that for ulterior motives. They don't genuinely love the woman. They're just using the woman for ulterior motives. And maybe perhaps they want to fit into certain circles and show other men that they're capable of getting a beautiful woman. And perhaps that's their motive. But if your motive is genuine love and care, and you honor your woman, that's not going to be your primary goal. Yes, it does feel good to know that your woman is beautiful as a man, but you're not going out there intentionally trying to flaunt her around like this is my trophy. You know, it's a little degrading when men do that to women. So in a sense, men, what makes you attractive is your money. And remember, I made a video before. I talked about how money is evil. I made a short about that. Money is evil, and the love of it makes it even more evil. Makes it doubly evil. And makes it doubly evil when you love money. Unfortunately, money is what women are drawn to. Now, some of you guys will say, that's not true. I know a girl who doesn't care. Yeah, you know a girl. That's the outlier. Generally speaking, women are drawn to money. They're drawn to men with money. Women love to shop. And some people want to call these women gold diggers. I just call them expressing their inner sentiments and wearing it on their sleeves for people to see. And they're doing it in an explicit way. And they're not pulling any punches. They're going to let you know what they want. And it's up to you as a man if you're going to oblige. Now, it's a little bit disrespectful on certain videos that I see when guys are playing pranks on women. And women, I don't know if those videos are, rehearsed or fake, or they're acting, or if it's genuine. But I would like to believe that there are women out there that do that. They'll just walk up to a man. They see a man in a nice car, and if the man is attracted to them, they'll start to tell the man what they want, the terms. Pay my bills, get my hair done, get my nails done, pay my rent, pay my phone bill. And it's amazing that women have the audacity to speak to men that way, but the reason why they do that is because there are men out there that can provide that. And they're not asking questions, they're not asking these favors or asking these crazy things of men because it's outlandish. They're asking them because that's the norm. If it was something that was taboo or frowned upon, the women wouldn't even have the nerve to utter those requests. They wouldn't do that. It would be too embarrassing. It's sort of like a man meeting a girl on the first date and saying, suck my dick on the spot. The girl's going to look at you like, who the hell do you think I am? Well, men won't do that. Even though men may have the thoughts, they're not going to literally ask the girl the question on the first day or the first date. But women are now having the audacity. When they see a man with money on a nice car, and if the man shows any interest, the girl's already saying, man, we gonna go shopping. Take me to the mall. Like, just flagrant. Just no regard, you know? But those are the extremes, of course. You know, you always have extremes in any subject matter. You're gonna have those that are operating on the extremes. On both ends of the extremes. You have the ones that are silent killers too. They don't tell you what they want, but they're watching you. And immediately they know what's in your bank account. They're already plotting how to get pregnant by you. They're already plotting on how to take half of your wealth. Those are the silent killers. So you have the silent killers, you have the overt, explicit, audibly voiced women who actually will audibly tell you what they want. And I think I would rather want that, because if you do that in the open, I kind of know where you stand. So the point of this video, is to let you guys know that having a nice car, smelling good, having money, that's what women want. But it's not that you have money for yourself. They're looking at you as a man with the money. Because when a woman sees you with money, and they feel like you have money, or they know that you're rich, or they know that you're wealthy, that to them is sexy. We as men, we look at a woman, we size her up, we look at her hair, we look at her body, we look at her physique, we're looking at the physical. Women do look at the physical, but they're not honed in on the physical like men. Men, we get turned on by the physical. Women get turned on by the material. And then if you do have the physical, that's just icing on the cake. Let me give you an example of how this whole concept is reversed. For a man, if a woman is beautiful and she's like a model, it's just she's a 10. She's a 10 out of 10. She's perfect in terms of her looks. But let's say she can't cook or clean. There are a lot of men that settle with that because they just love they're just so drawn by the woman's beauty that they're willing to settle for a woman who can't provide anything for the home. You have men that'll do that. The icing on the cake is for a woman to look that good, but also be able to get her hands dirty, cook in the kitchen, clean in the house, nurture the home, do things typically that you wouldn't think a girl who is that pretty would do. That's the icing on that cake. Now let me reverse it and talk about the man. Women aren't looking for looks. They're not saying, oh, this man is a 10 out of 10. Looks matter to women. I'm not saying that. They'll look at a man first. They'll look at the looks. But the looks is the first thing they see. But your wealth is the first thing they are seeking. So that when a woman sees you, they can't see your money. All they do is see the physical. So by default, they have no choice but to size you up physically. But deep down internally, they're not using your physical as a dictating factor to influence their decision whether they're going to be interested in you or not. They're seeing the physical, so because by default, that's all they have. Once they start to understand how you move and operate and see that you are a man of wealth and that you do have money, then the money becomes the primary. So if a woman finds out that a man is wealthy and has money, and he's smart, he's intelligent, he's aggressive, he's an alpha male, and I hate to use the word alpha male, he's just a man, okay? I hate this alpha and beta nonsense. He's a man's man, okay? And she sees that takes precedence before the looks. So if the man has the money and the financial stability, the smartness, the intelligence, the essence of working hard, the respect value, he can speak, he's articulate, all that stuff. If the man has that, that's the 10 for the woman, not the looks. The looks is the icing on the cake. You see how it's reversed? Men, looks is primary. Women, looks is secondary. But it's tricky because initially, men, you think that the looks is primary because you think, well, I'm swole, I went to the gym, she's gonna look at me and think I'm fine. Yeah, that's what she sees initially because she has no choice but to see you physically. But women are looking deeper than that. That's that cerebral aspect, the cerebral component of the female that men don't tend to have. We tend to be so myopic when we look at a woman, we see the beauty, we forget everything else. It's not later that a lot of men marry women that are beautiful. They start to see the character flaws. They start to scratch their head like, what the hell did I do? I can't believe I didn't see these traits in the beginning. Women are already sizing you up. Not your looks. They're already sizing you up in terms of how you move, how you speak, your money, what you buy, the kind of car you drive, how you smell, how you walk. They're looking at all those things. They're looking at all those components. So it's reversed. So if a man is hot in terms of his physique, that's the icing on the cake for a woman. When a woman is hot, that's just the first thing a man looks at. Now, if the woman can cook and clean and nurture the home and take care of the man, that's the icing on the cake. See, women are looking to be taken care of. That's their primary goal. Men are just looking for a beautiful queen that they can be lusted towards. And lusting is not a bad thing. You want to be able to lust after your woman to a degree, because if you kill the lust, that's when your marriage or your relationship becomes stale. That same zeal and passion that you had initially when you first met, you still have to have that spark. And that's the lust factor. You're supposed to lust after your woman. You're supposed to want her. Vice versa. As a woman, you're supposed to lust after your man as well. So, yeah. So you may ask yourself, like, but why did it take you this long, Literary Pharaoh, to come to that conclusion? Well, it didn't take me this long. It's just, I've kind of known it for years, but I didn't really know it when I should have known it. Like in my early 20s, if I knew that, I would have operated differently. I would have sought after certain things. I would have, I'm serious, I would have sought, to be honest with you guys, I'm going to be really transparent here. I would have just pursued money. I wouldn't care about pursuing basketball or pursuing going to the gym. Of course, I still would have worked out, but my priorities would have been a little bit different in terms of the emphasis that I put on certain things. Yeah, and perhaps I wouldn't be, but I'm not regretting anything. I'm just looking back, and the man that I am now, and the things that I know now, I'm thinking back like, man, the things that I know now, if I knew that back then, I would do this differently. I would do that differently. I didn't really know. I looked at women back then as if looked at women the same way I looked at women is the same way I thought that women looked at men, but it's not the same. And I think that's where we as men we fall into traps. The idea that when you go to a nightclub and when you buy a girl a drink, you buying her a drink is not because you're trying to get her loose so you can get into her panties that night. You buying her a drink is a symbolism of that I have money to buy you things. It's a small token of a gesture. It's a small gesture to show that this is a sign of what can come, of what's to come. It's a small way of whining and dining, right? You know, the woman isn't buying her drink. She's sitting at the bar, and a man swoops by and buys her a drink. It's symbolism. So from the beginning of time, women have always wanted a man that can provide something for them. And if you cannot provide anything for a woman, they're gonna disrespect you. Not outright blatantly, like they're not gonna like just curse you out or do anything like that. They're gonna talk to you a little bit different. They're not really gonna honor you. They won't respect you. You know, the respect that you think you deserve as a man, you won't have that. Even if you're a good man. If you're a good man with no money, you will not be respected. Women don't care about you being good. The only thing they care about is your bank account good. Now, I know you guys are going to push back and be like, not all women. I'm not saying all women. I prefaced this message by saying that I'm not talking about every single person. I'm speaking in generalities, but I'm speaking to the status quo. I'm speaking to what's the norm. Normally, the normal woman, if you round up 100 women, I can guarantee you that 80 to 90% of those women that you round up are going to agree with what I'm saying right now. They will not respect you if you don't have money. Now you say, how much money? Well, it depends on the woman. Some women want men that have a lot of money. Some women are okay with you having a little bit of money. Some women don't care. They just want you to have something. But they want you to have something. You can't come to a woman with zero. A man is dignified by his wealth. A man is made distinct by how much wealth he can accrue, how much resources he has. The more resources you have, the more respect you get. The more respect you get, the more women come to you. You can't just say, I'm a man, respect me because I'm a man. Okay, physiologically, from your anatomy shows me that you're male, that you're part of the male species, but are you a man? No, you're not a man. You're not a man. You're a vagina. You're a pussy. You're a pussy. That's what women look at you at. That's what women think of when they think of a man that doesn't have anything. That turns them off. And what turns them off even much more is a man that's super nice and sweet and respectful, but you have nothing. That kills them, because it's like, shit, you're doing all this stuff for me, but you can't do anything for me. It's like a tease. They hate that. It's equivalent to a girl who wears a short skirt, a G-string, hot as hell, beautiful, and she's spreading her legs to you as a man, giving you signs that she wants sex. But as soon as you make the move, she kicks you off of her and says, get the F off of me. And you're sitting there like, what the F? But you seem like you wanted it. That's the same thing with nice guys. You're nice. You're opening doors. You're doing this. You're respecting the woman. You're treating her like a queen, but you have nothing. That pisses a woman off. That's what makes them disrespect you even more. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this. And you guys, leave a comment here. You guys know that I'm telling the truth. There's some men out there who don't have nothing, but they treat women. I'm not gonna say they disrespect women, but they don't glorify women. They sort of have an indifference attitude towards women. They're not putting them on a pedestal, but they're not belittling them either. It's sort of like, okay, you're whatever. They're nonchalant. Women tend to respect men like that have nothing more than they will a man who has nothing that's respectful. I know it doesn't make sense, because you're thinking, well, it's bad enough you don't have any money, but at least he's respectful. But see, as men, that's the way we think. We think, well, at least if I'm respectful, then they'll They'll like that. No, they hate that. If you have no money and you have nothing, treat women like they are nothing. If you have money, treat women like they are something. You have to, your attitude and your actions towards women has to be equivalent to your resources. Yes, I understand, guys. It doesn't make sense to you now, but it will. Practice that. If you have nothing, treat women like nothing because you have nothing to provide them. So you're telling them what you are. Now, if they still want to be involved with you, then you understand what they're looking for. They're probably not looking for a man with resources. They may just want you just to lay in bed with you. They may just want to go to bed with you. At least you know where the women stand, and the woman knows where you stand. But when you have nothing and you're whining and you're catering to her, and you're like, yo, open your door, thank you. A woman's looking at you like lame. Yes, that's the contemporary culture we live in today. And I'm not going to say it's modern because there's nothing that's modern. Time doesn't exist. Clocks exist. What I'm trying to tell you is that the mindset of a woman today is fixed on that. They'll tell you they want a man that's nice and respectful. What they mean is that I want a man that's rich but also nice and respectful, because what woman wants to be disrespected? No woman in her right mind would outright raise her hand and say, yes, I want to be disrespected. All women want respect, but they want respect with conditions. The condition is that you have resources. When I say resources, I mean moolah, money. And if you don't have that, then you're nothing. I mean, look at those pranks on YouTube with those guys who come around with nice cars or Lamborghinis. Look how the women react. When a woman knows you have money, they're willing to accept anything that you give them. Now, some people may say if you have money, you have a nice car, you treat a woman like crap. I don't believe that. I believe you should always respect people. That's why I said be indifferent if you have nothing. I'm not saying disrespect. Don't disrespect anybody because that's a low vibrational action. I don't think don't ever operate on the extreme negative. I'd rather you operate on the extreme positive. All right? But in the sense, in the scenario given about the guy who doesn't have resources but is very respectful and very nice to women, I'm telling him don't be very respectful and be very nice, because it's not going to get you anywhere. Because even if you're being respectful and being very nice, and a woman does want to be with you, what can you provide that woman anyway? Nothing. You can't provide her anything. You know, and that's what pisses women off. When a nice guy is nice and he has nothing. That's equivalent to a man being teased by a hot woman who doesn't, follow through when they get in the bedroom. She starts to kick the man off and say, hey, get off of me. Sending me mixed signals. That's what women... I know some of you guys have been in situations like that before, where a woman tells you you're sending me mixed signals, and you're like, what mixed signals? I'm being nice to you because I like you, but it's mixed signals to them because you don't have any damn resources. You're being overly nice, but they don't care about the nice part. They care about the resources, the money. What can you provide me? Are you taking me out to eat? Are we going out on vacations? Are we going out on trips? Are you buying me things? Are you buying me purses? Women are very materialistic. There's no such thing as a woman that's not materialistic. Now, you have some women that are a little bit more conservative in their materialistic endeavor. Nevertheless, they're still materialistic. Believe me when I tell you that. There's some women that are extreme. They love to buy and shop till you drop. They love that. Yeah, but in all, women in general are materialistic. And somebody has to have the resources to provide that itch for the material. That's where the man comes in. As a matter of fact, men would prefer a woman that they can provide for. I told you earlier, men are not looking for women that can provide for themselves. Now, men are looking for women that are capable of providing for themselves, but they're not looking for that provision as a means to provide for them as a man. Like, they're not looking for a woman to take care of them. Any man that's looking for a woman to take care of them, I would question your manhood, and question if you're even a man. You may be I don't know, you may be, well, let me not say that on YouTube. You may be of I don't know, you're not a man. Let me just say that to be politically correct. You're not a man. So yeah, that's the realization that I'm coming to. Doesn't matter how you can go to the gym every day. You could look like Superman, had a V shape and be all that. You could look good. And yeah, women would they love to look at those things, but in terms of what they are attracted to holistically, that's just the icing on the cake. Your looks is the icing on the cake, because that big belly guy that's out of shape, if he has money, he can get the hottest chick in the club. He can get the hottest chick at the bar. He can get the hottest chick at the party. You say, oh, he doesn't look good. But see, you're thinking like a man. You're thinking that women think like men. That's the mistake that I used to make. Women don't think like men. You would never see it. Let me tell you this. You would never see a man, right? Listen to what I'm telling you. You would never see a man settle for an out of shape, obese woman just because she knows how to cook. Now, if a man does that, you better believe he's not going to be faithful to that woman. Because men, we're still drawn to the physical. We're stimulated by the external, by the physical. We are visual creatures at core. But a woman, the way they're wired, they can be with the out of shape, obese guy with the money and be attracted to him and be sexually stimulated by his wealth. I've heard women say it. When I see men, listen to what I'm telling you. When I see men with money, I get wet. I get turned on. Women get turned on by a man's status, his wealth. They love that. Men, we don't get turned on because a woman can cook and clean. We get turned on because she's physically attractive. Women can get turned on by a man's wealth. Now, if the man looks good with the wealth, oh my God, they're going to F you right on sight. On sight. In the public. On sight. So, guys, all the energy that you put into your physical, put the same amount of energy in trying to gather resources and accrue your wealth and advance your careers. You have to. If you're single and you're seeking to be with a woman that you want, not to settle. If you want what you want, then you're going to have to make sacrifice. Now, if you want to settle, you can't get mad at the woman you're with or blame anybody but yourself if you settle. And we all know as men, when we settle. Think about it. Every $1 million athlete, every famous person, whether it's from Floyd Mayweather or anybody, any girl that they're with, look at them. Now, most of them have gotten surgery, and I hate that most of these girls look like they're plastic. It's really disgusting. I just wish that men would actually find natural, beautiful looking women instead of, anyway, that's a whole nother subject for another day. But if you look at these women that these men are with, they're beautiful. Whether it's fake or not, it still looks good. Like, some of them have gotten lip injections and they've gotten some facial work done, reconstructed their nose, but their bodies look good. And from the outside looking in, you can't tell unless you examine them closely that some of that stuff is surgically, it's surgical. They went under the knife multiple times to look the way they look. But the point that I'm making is that these men with money, they're able to get girls like that. And as a matter of fact, there's men with money that are paying for those girls' surgeries. So, women have plans. And men, we don't have plans. We look at the hotness of the woman, and that's all we see for that moment. We black out. We're like, we're like, oh my God. Yeah, but women, they're very cerebral, and they're thinking of the bigger picture. So that's all I have to give to you guys today. Just make sure that just as much as you're pursuing health and wealth, just as much as I tell you guys that your health is your wealth, which is true, it is. But exert the same amount of energy in your endeavors to be a man of wealth, to be a man that has resources. When I say a man of wealth, wealth, that's very subjective, right? Because I'm not giving you a number. I'm not placing a metric and saying you have to make X amount of dollars to be in this status. All I'm saying is that have enough money where you can do things for a woman. That's all I'm saying. And if you don't have enough to do things for a woman, it's okay. Don't expect a woman to respect you. And it's not your fault. I'm not talking down to men that can't do anything for a woman. I'm just saying the way the modern woman is wired, the way women are wired today, because of the way society is moving, no longer does a man get respect if you're just a hardworking man? Because you can be a hardworking man, but the job you work at doesn't really pay well. A woman still won't respect you. It's not about your character in terms of your nobility, right? It's a noble thing to work hard. It's a noble thing to make sacrifices for your family. Women don't honor those things anymore. They're likely to be in love with the guy that's a drug dealer because it's the money. They don't care how you get it. It's a by any means necessary kind of mantra. It's an end result thing, right? The end result is that you have the money, not how you got it, but that you have it. Whether you're a pimp, whether you're a drug dealer, or whether you're a scammer. Some women are fine with that. And some women don't even want to know how you're getting your money because they may start to accrue a certain level of guilt. And the walking around with a guilty conscience is something that women don't want to do. So they would love to be in the dark about what the man is actually doing for the money. Helps them sleep better at night. But yeah, those days are gone, folks. Back then, a hard-working mechanic or a hard-working whatever could be respected. Come home with your dirty clothes. Hardcore blue-collar workers, construction workers. People who worked hard were respected. It didn't really matter how much their paycheck, how much was deposited into their bank account. That wasn't the end goal. The end goal is that they worked hard. But things have shifted. The love of money has gotten in the way of logical thinking, as I said before in my previous video. So now women are looking at the outcome. How much money do you have? 7 figures. 6 figures is not even enough nowadays. You gotta be almost pulling in 7 figures. And it's just the way it is. It's the way women are wired. I don't think women are taught that. I just think it's their deal. Even my daughter, when she sees nice cars, she's only 10. That's a Tesla. That's a Porsche. She's already starting to pinpoint nice cars. I'm like, wow, I didn't teach her that. It's in them to love nice things. And it's in them to love men who can get them the nice things. That's what makes them materialists. But what puts the icing on the cake, if the woman who's beautiful as such, but she does cook, she's nurturing, she cares for the family, she's a woman, she gives you children, because when a woman gives a man children, she's sacrificing her body. Her body goes through, metamorphosis. It changes. It's no longer the same. Yeah, she can bounce back, but the body's never the same as it was prior to having children. When a woman loves you, she'll give you children. So it has to be an even exchange. Yes, a man provides, but a woman has to provide in a different way as well. She has to nurture the home and be a wife and be a helper to the man. So not always being a person that's taken consistently. But again, like I say, if you don't have that, you'll be with the woman, but that's why your woman probably now is not respecting you. If your woman is always arguing with you and talks to you crazy, it's because she doesn't respect you. And there's nothing more debilitating to a man and to be with a woman who doesn't respect you. Women want to be loved, but their love is expressed in the man's ability or the man's capacity to provide them material possessions, or to provide them that financial stability, whether it's perceived or whether it's actually something that's in the abstract, something that they can actually physically embrace. If a woman feels that she's financially secure, I'm not saying she's asking you to buy her things every day, but if she knows that this man that she's with has the resources, it puts her in a state of ease, and she's like, okay, I know what I have, I'm good, all right? But when a woman doesn't have that, if it's 50-50 and she works and you work, I mean, she's not going to respect you. But she won't be flagrantly outright disrespectful, but she won't respect you. So she's just going to be in the middle, teetering in that level. You don't even know as a man how it feels to be respected by a woman. Why do you think, let me tell you guys this. Why do you think you hear stories, whether it's in a movie or in a book that you read? Why do you hear about stories about the man that's popular and famous and rich, has all the women in the world that want him, but he walks into a clothing store, or walks into a McDonald's, or walks into a Burger King, or walks into like a retail store. I don't know. I'm just giving examples of common places that commoners like us go, even though I don't eat at places like that, but I'm talking average. I'm just talking generally speaking. And he goes into a place that the general people go to, and he sees this young, attractive girl working behind the counter. She has no degree, she has no money, she has nothing. But the one thing she has, she's beautiful as fuck. She's fine. And he's like, I want that girl. And he gets that girl. That girl's in heaven. She brought nothing to the table. A man doesn't want a woman to bring anything to the table in terms of finances. All a man wants you to do is have my children, make me a sandwich when I'm hungry. That woman would honor that man. You say, why? Well, it's obvious. She was working in a retail store. She was working in a fast food joint. She was working at those are what I call dead ends. Those are jobs that young people work at just to have a little change in their pocket to do what they want to do. That's not a career, right? So a man comes in and saves you, pretty much. He scoops you out. You no longer even have to work at that job. Now you are a stay-at-home woman, or stay-at-home girl, or stay-at-home mom, or stay-at-home wife. That woman will honor you and kiss the ground you walk on. We as men, we don't understand that type of respect. We don't even know how that feels. We don't know how it is to be honored by a woman. We don't even know how it means to be respected by a woman. You see, people say honor your wife and all this other stuff. Yeah, that is honor. He honored her by taking her out of that job. He honored her by making her a stay-at-home wife. She no longer has to work. He put her in her right position as a nurturer of the home. When a woman is put in her right position, she's in heaven because she's operating in her true self. When a woman is not operating in her true self and she's forced to go out there and work hard like a man, she's resentful. And when she's with a man that can't provide her the ability not to be like a man, she starts to channel that resentment to that man. Now, she may not overtly disrespect the man because she's been taught better at home. Maybe she's been taught, you don't disrespect the man, blah, 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 blah. But she won't truly respect you. Not holistically. Just because your woman doesn't curse you out and talk down to you doesn't mean that she respects you. Respect is something you'll know it when you're respected. That feeling when a woman looks at you like you are a god. She's like, they look at you like, they're in awe. They're like, this is my man. I will do anything for you. They look at you like a king. We don't know how to be kings. We don't even know how it feels to be kings. Because many of us don't have the resources to make our women feel like they're queens. So that's it. So we settle. But it's not our fault. The economic climate, not everybody can be rich. And a lot of women watching these reality shows, they get caught into all this glamour and glitz and all this materials and makeup and dresses and name brand clothing and purses, Birkin bags, and taking trips and being on yachts and doing this, and they get caught into all that. They're keeping up with the Kardashians and all this other crap. So women get indoctrinated and brainwashed to think that that's what life is about. And so even though women who have better sense than that, they still get sucked in to that type of thinking, and they want those things. And so if a man can't provide those things to them, they resent the man. They resent the man. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, I'll see you guys at the next one, and remember, your health is your wealth. See you guys next time. Peace.